Hello everyone. So in this session, our purpose is to assist the NEET UG 2024 exam aspirants to understand how to approach the NEET paper. So that is all about we will discuss in this session. But before going to the actual discussion, here it is important to understand that whatever we are discussing here, whatever tips or tricks we are discussing to assist the students, the pointers that we are providing to the exam aspirants, this is our best intention for any student so that you people can excel in the NEET exam. But it is also important to remember that you are studying in different environment, in different situations. For every students there is different psychology operating, so that is why you have to use at the end of the day your own judgment, and that is obviously beneficial for you. So keep faith in yourself and also try to understand whatever we are discussing. That will, we hope it will be helpful for you, but still you should use your own judgment. Fine. So keep faith in yourself and let's start. So here first we'll try to understand the NEET exam overview before going to the discussion of tips and tricks. So NEET 2024 exam overview, if we see, it is not very different from the other years, but still we will just have a quick discussion related to it. So the full form of this NEET, it is National Eligibility Entrance and then Test, NEET, and the exam organizing body is NTA, full form is National Testing Agency. This is obviously a national level of exam, and the date is obviously all of you know this about, but still we will like to mention it, and that is 5th May 2024. What is the timing? That is the duration is 3 hours 20 minutes. So you can say it is 200 minutes, right? And unlike the JEE exam or advanced exam, this time it is offline, or you have to answer it in OMR mode. So that is very important difference if you compare with the other two similar type of exam. And the courses in which admission is possible through this exam, as you can see here, MBBS, BDS, and the colleges in which admission is possible through this exam, that is all medical colleges in India. So this is the NEET 2024 exam overview, and once we know about this overview, next we will see the exam pattern. That is the timing we have already seen, but the subjects, the sections, and how many questions are there for each subjects, what are the marks for each subject, whether there is any negative marking or not, that we will discuss in this part. Okay, so here you can see physics, chemistry and biology. Now under biology there will be botany and zoology. Now for botany and zoology, this will also be treated just like physics and chemistry if you look at the number of questions, right? So from the point of view of number of question, as if there is total 4 different subjects, though these two together obviously biology. Now that's for each subject, physics, chemistry, botany and zoology, there will be 2 sections, and that is common, section A and section B for each of these 4. And the number of question from section A, it will be 35, and from B it will be total 15 question, right? So total 35 and it will be 50, so 4 into 50, total 200 question. Now look at the mark section, 4 for each question, and if you consider it 4, so 35 multiplied by 4, it will be 140, and 15 multiplied by 4, now it is 60. But why it is 40? Because you just have to answer 10 question. So though there is total 15 question for in the section B, but 5 questions you don't have to answer, you just have to answer 10. But compulsory questions if you consider section A. So based on that, if it is 10, so 10 into 4, it will be total 40 marks, right? So 140 plus 40, it will be 180. So total, in total, it will be 720 marks if you answer all the question. That is the maximum possible marks you can obtain. Now section A, as I have mentioned, that all the 35 questions are compulsory. So 35 into 4, it will be 140. And for section B, which is containing 15 questions, but you just have to answer 10. Only 10 to be attempted by you. So it will be again 4 into 10, it will be 40 and 180 marks for each. Right? So marking scheme is +4, but there will be negative marking for each wrong answer, whether it is section A or section B. Now, a total of 200 MCQs questions will be there. That means you will have 4 options. You just have to select one of them. Now, out of which you just have to answer 180 MCQs. So you can see here 20 questions will be there extra, and all these extra 20 questions, that is from section B. So in section B you have that is out of 15 you just have to answer 10. So 5, 5, 5, 5, 4 for all these 4 subjects. So 5 into 4 is 20 questions that you don't have to answer. So that is why 180 MCQs basically you have to answer maximum, not more than that. Now suppose in section B, by mistake if you have attempted more than 10 questions, then what will happen? Only the first 10 questions will be considered. So you just have to be very careful. Suppose by mistake you have answered more than 10, and suppose the 12th number question you are very sure about, but as the first 10 questions will be considered, then this last 12 number question or 11 number question, that too will not be considered, even if you are sure about it. Okay, so be very careful. Only the first 10 questions will be considered if by mistake you have answered more than 10 questions, and that is for section B. So once the answers are marked on the NEET OMR sheet, that is the answer sheet, you cannot change it. Okay, so that is very important. We will also discuss it separately, that is how to fill the OMR sheet properly. If you have any doubts, it will be completely clear. Fine. So this is the NEET exam pattern for each of these 4 subjects: physics, chemistry, botany and geology. Now we will talk about the actual tips that you can follow when you will be in the exam hall. Suppose you are in the exam hall, and what are the things that you have to keep in mind, that we are going to discuss now. So tip 1, order of attempt. So there will be, as you have seen, physics, chemistry, and under biology there is geology and botany. But preferred order of attempt, you can follow this order: biology, chemistry and then physics. Now, I will always suggest, though I am saying that maintain this, but still it is important that you follow an order that with which you are comfortable. I am just giving this idea so that it can help you. But as I have said, there is different psychology for each of you. You are studying in different environment. Maybe you are more comfortable with physics. You can solve it very easily. You are more confident about it. Your preparation is very good with it. Then you can go for it. But in general, if we say, you can maintain this order. Now, to understand it in a better way, that is with which you are more comfortable, if you are still in doubt, what you can do, I can say that you can select some previous year questions, okay, and you can try different order of attempts. So suppose in one attempt you are solving biology questions first, that is you are simply maintaining this order that I have mentioned here, and then you have selected other day, you have selected some other previous year's questions, and then you are putting chemistry first, biology, physics. So if you try different orders and then just try to understand which way you are more comfortable. Your comfort level is the thing that actually matters. Not that I am saying that you just have to blindly follow it, no. But it is in general this order is maintained. Check which order works best for you and just follow that. Now why this order I am saying, because what happens in biology, there is theoretical based questions. So better you don't have to do any numericals, and in chemistry there is both theoretical, numerical, and in physics mostly numerical. So based on that, I am just mentioning this preferred order, but again, it depends on you, right? Now I will say there is an alternative method possible. It is not that you just have to solve all the biology questions, then all the chemistry questions, and then all the physics. No, that is not important. Alternatively, you can do one more thing. So the alternative thing that I am going to say, that you can solve easy question first across all the three subjects. So easy question means what I mean by easy question. You are 100% sure of the answers. Those are easy questions for you. Now for easy question, just solve for biology, all the easy questions of biology, all the easy questions of chemistry, all the easy questions of physics. Then you go for the mid-level question. That is, you can solve with some effort. You are not 100% sure, but it is not very difficult for you. You just have to give some time and then you can solve it. So that is a mid-level question. And then there is difficult question. You just have no idea how to solve those questions. So you can, obviously, these two you have to go first. So here, what it means by easy question, mid-level question, difficult question, you can see here. And you can go for easy question first across all the three subjects. And once you have done it, it will obviously boost your confidence. So this is another way, alternative way. It is possible that you solve all the biology questions or all the chemistry questions first if you are comfortable with it. But this is another way, another thought process that also you can apply. Now it is obviously up to you. Just try to understand which way you are more comfortable. That only you can decide, not anyone else, right? So this is the order of attempt. Now come to the tip number 2, subject wise time management. Suppose you have already decided that I will finish physics first or biology first. In that case, how you will do the time management? Now, as if we talk about the previous order that I have mentioned, that is biology, then chemistry, and then physics. So easiest and most coding subject is biology because it is mostly theory based questions, hardly have to do any numericals. Then chemistry, there will be some theory based questions and you also have to solve some numericals. It is mixed type. And physics requires a lot of rough work, right? So it involves numericals. So that is the reason, if we consider these facts, then what we can do, try to minimize the timing on biology. We will obviously see what more or less what in minute what time we can select, but we can also have to mention that try to minimize the timing on biology because there is no numericals. So this time that you have saved, it can act as a bonus for the other two subjects, physics and chemistry. So that is why I am saying that try to minimize the timing on biology. Now if we actually talk about the time, the tentative maximum timing, we have 3 hours 20 minutes, right? So 200 minutes. So 50 minutes for biology, 60 minutes for chemistry, 80 minutes. So see how the time is increasing. It is increasing because as we know, physics requires a lot of numericals. Now 50, 60 and 80. If you consider in this way, it is 190, right? Now 190 and you have 3 hours 20 minutes, that is 200 minutes. Still you have 10 minutes extra. Now why I am saying to save these 10 minutes extra? So though 10 minutes is still there, but still just stick to this timing, stick to this format. Why I am saying so? It is because when you will actually sit in the exam hall and you are thinking that 50 minutes for biology, but still you will see somehow it will be increased, right? The timing the probability is like that. So it is better if you keep your target that I will spend not more than 50 minutes, maybe you will spend 55 minutes. Okay, so that is why I am saying if you keep the target like this, there will be some extra timing still you will need. And also some time extra we should save, because sometimes what happens, some questions, suppose you are in doubt and you have left them because you want to again come back to those questions and want to solve. So for that purpose also, if you keep some time extra by maintaining to this format, it is obviously good. So that is why keep some timing extra. So if this 50, 60, 80 in general I am saying. So biology, even if it is not 50, 60, 80 as per you, but still try to keep minimum time for biology because it is theory based. And physics requires more time because you have to solve numericals, right? You have to handle different data. That is the reason we have this type of tentative maximum timing. So this is subject wise time management. Tip number 3, read question carefully. This is very important. You know, if you have understood a question properly, then you can consider as if it is already half solved. A well read and well understood question is the first thing that when you are facing a question, right? So you have to read it very carefully. Don't think that you are wasting your time. You have to focus on it. You have to read it carefully, and especially if it is numericals, the data that you sometimes provided, sometimes there is extra data provided, and so don't think that you have to utilize everything. Though most of the time the required data are given, you have to utilize everything, but you have to read it very well and you have to understand the question, because if it is not, it is misunderstood, you have made some mistake to understand the question, it may be that you are thinking that you are giving correct answer, but the basic thing you have made the mistake that you have not understood the question clearly, so that is you are giving wrong answer. Otherwise you have knowledge to answer the question, so this will be a silly mistake. So that is why reading question carefully, it is very important. Now if the question is not theoretical, if it is numerical, especially when it is a difficult question, what you should do, write all the given data, the values, the reaction conditions if it is chemistry in your rough work. So don't neglect the rough work. In the rough sheet, just write all the data values clearly so that everything is in front of you and you can see everything clearly. So when all the given data you can see clearly, then only you will be able to find the pattern based on which you will solve the question. So for numerical, writing the data is very important, and even if it is not numerical, suppose it is theoretical and there is lots of informations are given and you have to combine all the information and you have to reach a conclusion, then also I will suggest you can write by applying minimum time as possible, so that everything is in front of you. And why I am saying so, because our brain works in that way. When there is some visual representation in front of you, it is obviously, it will be easier for you to understand it, to grasp the idea than the mental representation. So if you are reading a question, you are thinking something, suppose you have not written anything on the paper, if you are thinking something, now mental that is only by applying mental representation. I am not saying that will not work, that may work, but for that your preparation level should be such that just by imagining you will be able to answer. But suppose if you are not if you are thinking that if I write it, it will be better for me, then I will suggest just write it. And the reason is that there will be visual representation, and it is our brain works in that way that it is easier for us to understand. So obviously even if you are not doing it for theoretical, but if it is numerical question, you should do it, right? Especially for physics. Next, so what happens, suppose just as for example I am saying, suppose in chemistry question, if there are two temperatures, so you can write at T1 is this, then T2 is this, then there is some suppose rate constant values are given K1, K2, then you have to find the activation energy. So if the known variables, the known data, it is in front of you, it will be easier for us to understand which one is not there. And also in this tip, that is read question carefully, be very careful about the unit. Suppose sometimes the data are given, but you have to do some unit conversion, but without doing the unit conversion you are putting the variables directly in the formula, then also there is a mistake. So unit, you have to be careful, and also check that all the units, suppose you have put x, y, z different variables and there is different units for each of these. So all combining all the units, some units will be cancelled. So the remaining unit, whether it is matching with the unit of your answer, that is also will be helpful for you. So when you are combining the units of all these three variables, and suppose you are trying to find an unknown variable, so just try to check that after cancelling all the units, whatever units are left, it is the correct unit for the unknown variable which you are trying to find. Fine. So read question carefully. Clean rough work. Do not neglect your rough work. As I have mentioned before, that if you have numerical question, you should write all the data, the given data, and in the rough sheet. Now, rough work, it must be neat and clean with identification of question number. So suppose this is your rough sheet and you are solving question number 6. So for question number 6, this is your rough work. Then question number 6 is complete. Then it is question number 10. Then again you have written something. So everything, at a first glance it may seem that you are wasting time. But it will not take much time. If you are confident enough, you can go for it. You rough work even if you don't do it properly. But still it is important to give importance to this rough work with proper identification of question number. It is not that you are somehow solving it on the one side of the paper and then you are doing it on the other corner, doing it here. So it should not be like this. There should be a proper maintenance. Now why I am saying so? Because sometimes it may be that you start working on question and you are leaving it halfway because if you are not very comfortable with it, you are not confident about it. Now if you have some time left after finishing the other questions with which you are confident, suppose you want to come back to this question. So what happens? Suppose you have done until 3 to 4 steps. Now you are coming back and you want to solve that from that point, not from the start again. Because if you want to start it from again, it will be completely waste of time. So you have, suppose total 4 steps are required and you are stuck at 3rd step. Now you are coming back because you still have some time left after finishing the your questions with which you are confident with. Now you have again have reached this question. Now the 4th step you will be able to do easily because the 3rd step that you have done before, it is clear, you can easily see it. So you don't have to do 1st step, 2nd step, 3rd step again. So that is why I am saying it should be clean enough. Now it depends on you. Even suppose if it is not, I am thinking that it is not clean, but to you it is clean because you can understand your handwriting in a better way. So it is up to you. Just I am saying that try to do the rough work in such a way that if somehow you are leaving it halfway, you can again come back so that you can start solving from that point where you have left if you are revisiting. So that is the reason. At the end of the paper with limited time, such partially solved answer can help you. You must take multiple mock tests to master these strategies. Obviously, if there is some time left, you can still try to do this because it is also a strategy, right? So if you really want to master it, you can take the help of mock tests. These are really helpful. Now the last tip is properly fill OMR answer sheet. Fill all the details of OMR answer sheet properly without any overwriting because it is computer readable. So if you are doing any other extra mark which is not desired, or if you are overwriting, obviously that will lead to rejection. So here, for example, you can see, suppose 4 options and you have selected 2 answers. So this is obviously incorrect. Then one answer you have written fully, another one is like this, incorrect. Then you should not put simply a tick mark like this. This is also incorrect. You have to completely fill it. Then if you are not completely filled it, see it is still there is some space left. This is also not the right way. Now this is the correct way. As you can see, this is cleanly it is filled, right? Do not write anything else on the OMR sheet. Your purpose is just to fill this, and obviously you have to write your name. That is different. I am talking about these answers. So if you write anything else on the OMR sheet, or if you are using some white ink to erase the option that you have selected, so that you should not do. Do not make any specific symbol or sign in the other that is except this 1, 2, 3, 4 options. If you are doing it some other space, that is obviously not right. And also you should not, if you are thinking you have made some mistake, do not scratch the paper. Okay, that is also very lead to rejection. Never leave the transfer of answer to OMR sheet at the end of the paper, as in a hurry you could end up mismatch of question number with answer number. So what happens, suppose you are sure about question number 1 but you are writing the answer, that is which option, in your rough work. You are not putting it in directly in the answer sheet because you are thinking that I will do it at the end, but you should not do it, because what happens, if you are leaving the answer in the rough sheet, you are not putting directly in the OMR sheet. Now when you will be in a hurry, time is already running, you could end up mismatch of the question number with answer number. So suppose answer number 8 you are putting on 10, or 10 you are putting on 8. So even after giving correct answer, if you do this mistake, it will be really it will not be good for you, right? So that is why don't do this. Directly put the answers in the question paper with which you are sure about, and do not scratch the paper, not at all like this, and it will be something like this, and that will also may lead to rejection. So whenever you are solving a question, transfer the answer obviously about which you are confident immediately to the OMR sheet. Don't leave it on the rough work and don't think that I will come back to this. I will come back to this. That theory is only for those questions with which you are not comfortable, you are not confident. But when you are confident, directly put it in the OMR sheet, and only like in this manner. Only doubtful questions which you have planned to revisit must be held back. Otherwise, don't leave it anywhere. Directly put in the OMR sheet. Fine. So that is all about in this session. Different tips and tips we have discussed. I hope it will help you to in the exam on 5th May. And at the end, we wish you all the very best for your exam. Whatever days are left, just work strategically, and also don't forget to relax. Keep faith in yourself. Thank you for your time.